Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you some of my latest insights and developments on the subject of how to grow a small account into a larger account. And I would also like to explore the difference between growing a small account and getting funding, because a lot of people are so interested in getting funding rather than growing their small account into being the funding that they're looking for, while during the time that they're growing it, they're developing the skill that they're looking for. So after they have grown it, then their funding is already in place to take it further by developing it even more and growing it even more. Once you get from a small account to a larger account, check and see at what level would your account be able to produce the income that you need to cover all of your expenses, to enable you to quit your current job. And in doing that, I've always recommended that you could get to a point where the amount that you take out is going to be a percentage, maybe 50% of the amount that you earn each month, and then your account keeps growing and you're taking out the money to live on, and you're doing both things. You're earning a living from trading and growing wealth in your account. During this video, you're going to have some important insights. You're going to have some breakthroughs, because I'm about to reveal to you some things that you're going to see. Those things that I'm about to reveal to you are true. And because of that, you're going to have breakthroughs as we progress. Now, the first thing to be aware of, part of what I'm going to reveal to you is I'll show you from a technical aspect how to grow your account. And at the very end, I'm going to show you the absolute best way to increase your account using the method that is the most effective at doing that. So that's yet to come. So first, you want to be aware that in order to grow your small account, what is it that you're trying to do? What it is that you're trying to do is to develop a rare skill of having consistent increase over long periods of time. Let's say you could get 5 to 10% increase per month, and that might be a coincidence. The next month you lose 5 to 10% because it's all arbitrary and it was a coincidence. So it's developing a rare skill, something that's verifiable. And in order to do that, you have to be testing it for a long period of time. And you would also have to go through a process internally in yourself and technically and visually to develop that skill. There would be challenges along the way. You would try something, see if it works. It's not something you just instantly, intellectually, okay, now I know that. That's the subject. Now I know that. Now I proceed. But notice how people behave, and based on their belief systems, what is it they're trying to do? They're thinking, how can I grow my account starting right now? You know that if you could get 5 to 10% increase per month consistently, you have already become one of the most successful traders in the world. So why would we think that we're going to do that right now immediately without allowing ourselves time to do that? Is that based on a core belief of self-criticism? And the core belief that's usually behind it all is I'm not worthy, or I don't deserve to make the kinds of decisions that I need to make in order to get consistent profit. This is why most people are seeking some kind of a strategy, which is a way for you to not make a decision, not be able to visually look at the charts and make a decision yourself, but to instead to rely on a strategy to make the decision for you. That's why people want to purchase a software, get a signal, or get someone else to tell you when to enter, rather than rely on your own ability to make a decision. So now let's focus on what it is you're trying to do, is to develop a rare skill, and you need to allow yourself time to develop that skill, rather than thinking that I need to already have developed it right now and I need to get the results right now. Notice how many people consider trading some kind of a gambling thing. And why is it that they think that they can open an account with $100 and double the account the first month by some rare coincidence, and then expect that they're going to keep doubling it and not pay any attention to the normal statistical probabilities that if they double it this month, they were lucky, and then next month they lose it and they're back to where they were starting from? It's because their belief system is based on a hope for success or for luck in gambling, rather than having an actual intention to develop a business. Now, for those of you who are familiar with psychology neuroscience and personal development, some of the things that I'm about to reveal will instantly be recognized and you'll resonate with it as being true. And because you're able to recognize it, then you will be able to apply the methods that I'm about to show you. But if you're not familiar with that, you could easily come to the conclusion that doesn't have anything to do with my trading. And if that's the case, just go away and wait for a few years until you're able to get that understanding and that recognition that you are familiar with psychology, you are familiar with neuroscience and personal development, and these things that I'm about to show you about core beliefs are true and they're verifiable. You can type it into Google. You can type into Google right now, CBT core beliefs, and then spend a few hours learning about what core beliefs are, what CBT is, and then you could try some other keywords, NLP core beliefs, and come up with some things and see, okay, so now I know what core beliefs are. Now I know what human beings actually end up believing from early childhood. So if you had a driving strategy and your driving strategy was given to you, get in your car, make 2 right turns, and then make a left turn. And you're going to drive from Boston to Los Angeles. You just get in your car, make 2 right turns, and make a left turn, and see if you end up in Los Angeles. Probably wouldn't. Might take many years. You're just going to be ending up some dead-end road where you wonder how you ever got there. So what would be a better way would be for you to just look at the map, decide where do you want to go, and go there by looking at it and making decisions. What if you had a driving strategy that told you you're going to drive to Los Angeles, but exit the freeway every 30 minutes? What if you don't want to exit the freeway every 30 minutes? Could you just stay on the freeway? I guess you could. What if you had a driving strategy that told you get in your car and drive for the next 3 days without stopping? What if you wanted to stop and rest or get some lunch or something? Maybe you could do that because you decided to. Can you do that in trading? Not only can you do that, that's how you trade, is you make decisions based on what you want to do and instead of relying on a strategy. So for instance, if the market turns on the daily time frame and you see that, you recognize it, and then you want to have a strategy where you exit on the 1 hour and get back in or something, it might not work or it might work. And it shouldn't rely on a strategy because a strategy is not going to solve that. What's going to solve that is for you to be able to make decisions, look at the market and decide what you want to do. If you were learning how subdivisions work, that would take about 1 day. Do you know how subdivisions work? What if there's a trend on the daily? What's going to happen next? Well, that's going to be the same every other time there's a trend on the daily. If the trend ends, it's just a repetition. The patterns repeat themselves. So you just keep applying the same thing that you have been applying, but you make decisions as you go. And what if it doesn't do what you were expecting? When we look at the real life example that we're about to look at, we're going to see a market where we don't know what's going to happen. We might have a good idea of what might be more probable. What if it doesn't happen? Then you would make a decision based on what it does do. You would look at it and make decisions. And this ability to make decisions is what we're looking for. The ability to visually look at a chart and the ability to make wise decisions. That can just be a simple, common sense, technical thing. And also it will be in alignment with what we know. The things that's stopping us from doing that are inner conflicts, self-sabotage, and limiting beliefs that are stopping us from moving forward. So it's already been known for quite a while it's known in the trading industry that professional traders might be getting 50% winning trades and have their winning trades be an average of larger than their losing trades. And that's resulting in consistent increase in capital. And once you arrive at that point where your account is getting consistent increase, you have arrived at the point where you're one of the best traders in the world. So if you're already one of the best traders in the world and you're getting consistent increase over many, many months, then you will be able to get the results that you want. If it's not doing that, that's because you haven't developed that skill yet. And chances are the main reason is because of needing to program your subconscious mind. So we're going to look at some real examples, and then after we look at that, I'm going to show you the real method for what it is that you now need to do. Some of you may accept it and you start practicing what I'm about to reveal to you, or some of you may say, no, that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm doing in trading, and go on And then in a few years, you're going to come back and watch this video again, and then you're going to do it. And that's going to be a great day once you do that. So let's look at some real examples on the chart, and I'll show you how do you maintain this consistent ability to make decisions that you increase your account, which any ability to increase your account is going to take a small account into a large account, and it's not going to be different. When you have a large account, it's not going to be different. It's going to be the same thing. Okay, so in this video, I'm not going to be able to reveal the entire process of how to trade and everything. So I'm going to just focus on some key principles. Those of you who are in our community know that this trade that just happened on Friday was planned and known before it happened, and we knew what time it would happen, and we knew the direction for the trade before it happened. So because of that, we had a distinct advantage over the people who are not able to do that. Now that the market has turned and it's impulsive down, the market has moved an impulsive movement down. If it completes forming a corrective movement relative to the impulsive movement down, then it's going to form an end of a correction and keep going down. So if it does that, we will identify it as we always do, just like we identified the end of this correction for the end of this A, B, C, D, E. Whatever this smaller correction turns out to be, if it ends later this week, we'll be able to see that and recognize it. What I wanted to show is that if the market turned on the daily, if that's 1, 2, 3, may or may not be, or if it's on the 4 hour, that's the end of a correction on the 4 hour, then is there some kind of a strategy that would tell me go to a certain time frame and now trade on that time frame? Well, there are some guidelines that your subdivisions tend to be around 1/4 to 1/8 of the time frame. Like on the daily, the subdivisions of the daily will tend to be around the 4 hour or so. And if you see a pattern of any kind on the 4 hour, the subdivisions of that pattern might be around the 1 hour. And all of these subdivisions can be tuned to frequencies that may or may not be one of the standard time frames. And wherever you see it, how do you know? Because you look at it and you see it. So if you see a pattern on the 4 hour, then the subdivisions of that pattern will be on the 1 hour. And if you have a pattern on the 1 hour, the subdivisions of that pattern will be on the 10 to 15 minute range. And once you know that, then whatever is happening, you're just reading it as if it's a roadmap, and then you decide what you would like to do for now. Get in, get out. Here's another thing that is very important to realize. What it all comes down to are basically 4 decisions. Get into a trade, not get into a trade. Get out of a trade, not get out of a trade. So you can look at the charts all day long, but the only decisions that you're going to make are those 4 decisions. You can make those decisions by learning how to read the roadmap, and read the roadmap, make decisions based on what you see and what you understand to be the most likely probable truth of the market. And whatever it is this time, that's what it will be the next time, because it's a continual pattern, meaning it's repeating patterns over and over again. So you don't have to keep learning it every day. It's a one-time thing. Learn it one time and then just keep applying it. Okay, I told you I'm about to reveal the most effective way for you to grow your account. And here it is. During the first few weeks or maybe even months of your development, what you want to do is to practice what is known as eliciting a core belief. So as you go through your trading, each time you come up with something that is causing you a problem, just stop. And whatever it is, like, oh, I wanted to get into this trade and I got into the trade and it turned out to be, it wasn't any good, and I knew that it wouldn't be any good, so why did I do that? You just stop and you take a few deep breaths, then ask yourself, what's true about that? Give yourself an answer. You have to practice this. You have to do it. I mean, I could do it with you. You could get a practitioner or a therapist to go through this with you to help to get you to come to the point where you come up with your core belief that's causing that. You listen to what you say and then say, okay, well, what's true about that? What's true about that? Well, I was very excited to get into a trade. Okay, what's true about that? Well, I felt a sense of urgency. I felt this anxiety. Oh, okay, so what's true about that? Well, I felt the anxiety because I'm very concerned about making money in my account. Oh, okay, so what's true about that? Well, I want to make money, and therefore I feel this sense of pressure to make money. Oh, okay, so what's true about that? Oh, I feel this sense of pressure because I don't want to make a mistake. Oh, so you don't want to make a mistake. What's true about that? I don't want to make a mistake because then I will be bad. Oh, so then, I'm not worthy. So, whatever it leads you to, when it leads you to the final result, you should feel a shift inside of your body. Oh, that's the reason. And you need to become familiar with what a core belief is, and then be able to recognize if you've arrived at a core belief. Since this is the most important thing that would enable you to go to the next steps, you want to spend the most time in the beginning eliciting core beliefs related to your trading. Now, once you elicit your core beliefs, then you can go on to the next step of installing the opposite belief. And when you start installing the opposite beliefs into your body using certain methods, then there's this kind of a transformation that's going to happen inside of yourself. Things will be different. Your ability to make decisions will be different. And sooner or later, if you keep doing this, you're going to see an actual change in your results, which I'm talking about. If you want to get consistent results, that is how you do it. So I can show you technically, you get in here, you get out there. That's also important, but it's a lot more important to overcome your core beliefs and to install new supportive beliefs that help you to get the results that you want. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.